Hey everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a necklace today, and I'm going to use some of the beads that I got in the GGC's Winter Wonders treasure bag that I was lucky enough to snag. This is such a beautiful bag. It's so full. There's so many beads and findings in this bag. It's just amazing. It always is. All her bags are just amazing. They're always so beautiful and so full of beads and findings. It's such a tremendous value. I don't know how she does it. She's just amazing. It's not a subscription that you can sign up for. She puts these bags out, I think, once every other month or so. And there are only a limited number of them. And they sell out really, really quickly because, like I said, they're such a tremendous value and they're so beautiful. She does have a website if you want to go to her website and sign up for her emails. I'll put a link to it in the description box below. If you go and sign up for her emails 2 or 3 days before she's about to release the next bag, she'll send everybody an email and let you know exactly when she's going to release the next bag. And that way, if you want to get one, hopefully you can get one in time before they get sold out. Like I said, they sell out just really, really quickly. In here, I've got the 6mm round indigo glass pearl beads that came in the box, or the bag. In here, I've got the 21 by 13 by 7mm blue faceted glass and brass teardrop pendant. I've got the grade AAA crystal bicone beads in blue. There were blue, clear, green, and red, and I've got the blue ones, and I'm using 4 of them. I've only got 2 in here because I've already made part of the necklace, but I'm going to be using 4 of them. And here I've got some findings. I've got some chain. I've got 3 10mm gold links. These are all findings from my stash. I've got some 5mm jump rings and 1 8mm jump ring. I've got a lobster clasp, and I got a little blue bicone out of my bead soup. And I'm going to put it on this ball head pin and hang it off. I'm going to have a little piece of extender chain, and I'm going to hang that off the extender chain as a dangle. I've got some pieces of gold 22 gauge German style wire. I'm going to be using my chain nose pliers, my tweezer pliers, my round nose pliers, both pairs of my bent chain nose pliers, the crimping pliers that I use to tuck in burrs when I cut off wire, the cutters that I use to cut craft wire and head pins and eye pins, and my little New Orleans shot glass to put my wires in when I cut them off. I just emptied him. He's all fresh and ready to go. I'll leave links to everything I can find links for in the description box below. I think that's everything. So hold on, I'll get some of my beads poured out and I'll be back. Okay, this is going to be a double strand necklace, and I've got one side of my longest strand made already, and I'm going to start on the other side and then I'll finish it off camera. I've got my 6mm beads here and a couple of my bicones for my other side, and my 22 gauge German style wire. These are about 3-inch pieces of wire here. I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to go down not hardly 1.5 inches, and I'm going to bend my wire over the pliers at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to put my round nose pliers in the crook of the bend, round nose pliers facing me. I'm going to bend the wire back until it hits the tool. Rotate the pliers so they're facing the table. Take this part under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the wire. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring this wire down. And I'm going to wrap the shorter piece of wire around the longer piece of wire about 3 times. I'm going to take my cutters. I'm going to cut off my wire, the extra wire. I'm going to put one of my 6mm beads on here. I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to go to the very tip of the pliers because I don't want a very long neck. I'm going to bend the wire over the pliers at a 90-degree angle. Put Put my round nose pliers in the crook of the bend, round nose pliers facing me. Bend the wire back until it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Take this piece under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring this wire down a little bit. Take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and we'll start to wrap. Make sure to get that first wrap in under the bottom of the loop and not over the top of the bottom of the loop. I'm going to wrap till there's no more room to wrap. I'm going to take my cutters, cut off my extra wire. I'm going to take my crimping pliers, and I use the part at those little half circles at each end to tuck in the burrs that are left when I cut off wire. Now I'm going to take another piece of my wire. I'm going to take my pliers and go down not hardly 1.5 inches. Bend the wire over the pliers at a 90-degree angle. Around those pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Bend the wire back until it hits the tool. Rotate the pliers so they're facing the table. Take this part under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the wire. I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to open my loop. And I'm going to thread on this link that I've already made here. Close my loop back. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring the wire down a little bit. Wrap the short piece of wire around the long piece of wire about 3 times. Take my cutters and cut off my extra wire. Take another one of my 6mm beads and put it on here. Take my pliers and go to the very tip of the pliers. Bend over at a 90-degree angle. Around those pliers in the crook of the bend. Bend the wire back until it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers so they're facing the table. Take this part under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the beads. I bend chain those pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring my wire down a little bit. Take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. Wrap till there's no more room to wrap. Take my cutters, cut off my extra wire. Take my crimping pliers and tuck in the little burrs that are left when I cut off the wire. Now I'm going to keep doing this until I have exactly what I've got here. I'm going to do another 6mm, the back cone, 3 more 6mm, the back cone, 3 more 6mm, until I get another beaded chain just like the one I've already made here. And when I get that done, I'll be back. Okay, I've got both sides of my longest strand done here, and they are about 7 1/4 inches each. So now I'm going to put them on my pendant on them here. I've got one of my 10mm links. I'm going to take one of my 5mm jump rings. Open it up. Put my pendant on here. closed up really well. I'm going to take another 5mm jump ring. And I'm going to put one side of my beaded chain on here. And take another 5mm jump ring. And put the other side of my necklace on here. So that's going to be my longest strand. Now for my inner strand, I'm going to do just a beaded chain of these 6mm beads. I've got 8 of them left. So I'm just going to do like I did with the outer strand. I'm just going to bend at a 90-degree angle. Around those pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Around those pliers facing me. Bend the wire back until it hits the tool. Rotate the pliers so they're facing the table. Take the shorter piece of wire up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the wire. Take my pliers, and I didn't mention, but obviously I've already got some of this done. I'm going to take my pliers and open my loop. Thread my chain I've already got made on here. Close my loop. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Take this wire down a little bit. Wrap the shorter piece of wire around the longer piece of wire 3 times. Take my cutters and cut off my extra wire. My 6mm beads, put it on here. Take my pliers and go to the very tip of the pliers. Bend over at a 90-degree angle. Around those pliers in the crook of the bend. Bend the wire back until it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Take this part under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the beads. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring my wire down a little bit. My other pair of bent chain nose pliers. Start to wrap. Just make sure that first wrap gets in under the bottom of the loop and not over the top of the bottom of the loop. Wrap till there's no more room to wrap. And then I'm going to cut off my extra wire. And take my crimping pliers and tuck in my little burrs. And I'm going to keep doing that until I use up all these beads. And I probably will have to have a little bit of this chain up here to make it as long as I need it to be. And I usually do that anyway so that the beads don't, if you put them together like that, even if I had enough, if you put them together like that, the beads kind of get in the way of each other. So I usually put a little chain or some smaller beads or something there anyway, and I'll probably do that. So when I get this done, I'll come back and I'll have my chain figured out, how much I need and everything, and we'll put the rest of it together. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got my inner strand done now, and I forgot to say I used 17 of these little 6mm beads to do my inner strand. And I measured this one when I pull it all the way out, measure it, it's about 15 inches. And this is about 10, a little over 10 inches. So I'm going to put it together now. I've got a couple of pieces of chain here that are about 1.5 inches. And I've got my little jump rings here. And I'm going to put a jump ring on each side of my inner chain. Put my chain on it. Do that on this side. Okay, now I'm going to take another jump ring. And I'm going to put my outer chain on it and my inner chain on. And I'm going to take another jump ring. Go to this side. Put my inner chain on and then my outer chain on. Now I'm going to lay this out here where I can see my jump rings. I've got 2 more of my links like I used down here where the pendant is. I'll take another jump ring. And I'm going to put my jump ring that's on here and my link. And then I'm going to take another jump ring. And take this jump ring and add it to this jump ring. I'll just try and do that without picking it up, and I'm not doing very well good job of it. Trying to get it to lay right. These double strand necklaces, I have the hardest time getting them to lay right. They end up twisted a lot of times. I don't know that keeping it laying down like that's going to help me anyway. And now I'm going to put it on. That's not my link. That's my 8mm jump ring. Where's my link? Here it is. Put it on here. Okay, now. So that's what I got now. So now I'm going to take another jump ring. And I've got some pieces of chain here that are about 3 inches each. Open this jump ring, put my chain on, and put my link on. Maybe I should put my link on first and then my chain on. I'm telling y'all, I get paranoid about these getting twisted. Okay, now I'm going to take another jump ring. Find where the slit is. And I'm going to put this jump ring on and my other piece of chain. Okay, now I'm going to have to hold this up here and see if this is hanging right. And by some miracle, I believe it is. That's a first. I usually have to do them over and get them untwisted. So, now, I'm going to take another jump ring, my lobster clasp, put my lobster clasp on, put it on this side of my chain, this side of my necklace. Now I'm going to take an 8mm jump ring, open it up, put it on this side, and I've got a little piece of chain here that I cut. It's about 1.5 inches for an extender. Close it up. And now all I've got left to do is make this little dangle to go on my extender chain. I've got my ball head pin and my little bicone. Go to the tip of my pliers. Bend over at a 90-degree angle. Round those pliers in the crook of the bend. Round those pliers facing me. Bend the wire back until it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. This part under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. Open my loop. Thread on my chain. Close my loop. I'm going to bent chain those pliers and hold on to my loop. Take this wire down. Try to hold my chain back out of the way. Take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. Wrap till there's no more room to wrap. Take my scissors or my cutters and cut off my extra wire. Take my crimping pliers and tuck in my little burrs. So now I'm all done. So hold on, I'll see if I can get this laid out here where y'all can see it. It might be hard to see it very well laying out like this. I might have to put it on my display and put a picture at the end for you all to see, because it probably will look better hanging. So hold on, I'll be back. Okay, I think that's about the best job I'm going to be able to do to getting it to lay out on my mat here like this. I'll try to get a picture of it on my bust and put it at the end of the video so y'all can see what it looks like hanging. These double strand necklaces usually look better when you hang them. Like I said, these are some really beautiful beads and findings in this bag. They always are. It's amazing what an incredible job she does with these bags. And if you go to her website and sign up for her email notifications, the next time she's ready to release a bag, she'll send you an email and let you know ahead of time, so maybe you can get you one if you want to. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry, and I also sell gift cards and some extra beads and bindings that I have. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope y'all have a great day. Take care.